rolling mountains of infinite wilderness. The search for a mystery that's said to live in it, with plans to stay at the Patterson-GIMLIN Film site. This is an adventure into the most famous Bigfooting place on Earth. We raced the sunset through mountain back roads to try to reach our destination before dark. We met retired forest ranger and Bluff Creek project member Robert Lederman. I stayed up with Robert into the wee hours of the morning, where he shared old stories of strange happenings while on the job during his long career as a ranger.
So I park my unit, I call it, I'm on it, and I don't want to turn my light on the whole time. I want to get there and just, I do internet.
I also got to pick his mind over his thorough investigation of what I believe is the second greatest Bigfoot footage behind the Patterson film, Bart Catino's Sierra thermal footage. Well, good morning. Night one. It was a good night last night. My sleeping pad deflated on me, but I had a couple sheets, mylar sheet and this other reflective sheet, so it wasn't too cold, wasn't too bad. It's a beautiful morning here. I can't wait to try and get down the creek today and do some exploring.
Yeah, we heard one in the Alabama hills.
We're here in a fox right now. It's pretty cool.
Woke us up from a dead sleep about 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like, what the?
It's kind of black. Not expecting that.
We were not expecting that. Right behind
Hear a fox call last night several times. Just heard it again. Completely packed up camp. We're just waiting on a couple more people straight down that way, about a mile and a half. We're going to get down to the Patterson-GIMLIN Film site. We're just hearing something big down there. Like, oh, you hear that?
We're hearing something walking around down here.
I heard two like exhale.
We're gonna go down there in a minute.
Once you hear it, you'll find out. You can't disagree with it. The evidence is all there. Because when we started labeling all...
Headed down to the Patterson-GIMLIN Film site. Should be about a mile and a half. Our plan right now is to possibly separate into two groups with radios, and one group camp down by a place called Scorpion Creek, and the other one to be determined. We'll figure out a good little spot. But I'm expecting good times. Got my night vision camera ready. Maybe set up a game trail cam. See what comes of it.
This is one of the earlier cameras we installed here, the game cameras. When we first installed it back in 2012, this whole area here was just nothing but open grass. You see how much growth is here. The reason we chose this is we're at a crossroads. You have another berm trail runs this way. This goes down towards the film site. We just came in off this direction, and nature does this. It just takes it all back, and this is going to be pretty thick after a while. But we get mountain lions through here. We get bear through here. Get the occasional fox running through. So it's a good spot.
Looks Looks like spit.
Yeah. Inside there's a little green bug that makes all that spit.
And thorns on the...
Oh yeah, you're playing with the California blackberry there. See a little bug inside that spittle thing there?
There he goes. Right there.
How such a little organism makes such a big spit wad, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, it's toxic. I tell you that. Bear prints right here. You can see some toe placements.
You do see that, yeah.
So it's here. Looks like a little bit of claw action in a couple of these places. But there's the pushback on the back. Here's another one. Almost looks human-like.
You can see how it all played out. Close to here is actually where Patty stood up. And Roger and Bob came around here. They started filming her right over here. And right the way that these gentlemen are walking is where she took off. She started power walking. So this here is a same kind of sand.
That's the sand you're looking at. This is as Stephen Stouffer likes to call it, the malleable sand.
Mhm.
It's really soft and powdery and captures the detail. There's just enough, I guess, clay or whatever's involved. Holds its form. You can barely see my fingerprints in it, see? See your fingerprints? Just barely see them.
Mhm.
This is what Patty was walking on.
So this is a remnants of the old road where Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin rode in. Over here there's a root stump. This creek fluctuates. This is all according to Robert Lederman, what he just showed me. And they're thinking they spooked Patty right about up here. This was all level. It's over there. She took off over here, struggled with his horse, fell off, got his foot stuck in the stirrup, reached for his camera finally, got it out, his big bulky camera that's heavy. By the time he got it, as he's running, as he got it in his hands and ready to film, he's already about here, which is frame 1. And the time accounted for from there to here makes perfect sense for someone that's falling off a horse and struggling to handle their camera.
And you have to ask the question, you get spooked, you're controlling your horse, you lay your horse down, you get your foot crushed in the stirrup, you have to release that, you have to go to the saddlebag, pull out the camera, you have to release the horse, you have to get up, you have to relocate where Patty is, then you have to run towards her and then turning on the camera. And to think that all took place right here, the Patty frame number 1 shot here, and there's not enough room to pull it off. But I think that root ball down that way that we just visited,
Yeah.
I think that was the one in question.
We set up camp at the Patterson-Gimlin site as the second group rolled through. Their plan was to go down about 1.5 miles and camp at a place called Scorpion Creek.
This is Bluff Creek. This is the Patterson-Gimlin Film site, and this is where we're camping tonight. Here's Alan's setup. No campfires allowed down here, so we're gonna have our light on tonight just up here. my setup, Lunar Solo. Lewis's. This is where she walked. This straight ahead is where the Bluff Creek project guys have multiple cougars walking right through this pathway. Hopefully we get some action tonight.
You guys say you found some elk prints? Copy that, elk print.
Okay.
That's super cool.
Although we drove up here to investigate the area, this was also about 3 friends from 3 different places and 3 different upbringings fulfilling a common dream, camping at the Patterson-GIMLIN Film site.
Here goes a very, very, very important delivery. Fundamental part of Bigfooting. There we go. Looked all around for a long time, didn't see a thing. Good morning. Let's go check our game trail cam. Today the plan is to go about a mile up creek to a certain drainage and meet the other group there. Walk around, do some exploring, and then we'll head back up to the berm, collect our stuff, and still contemplating going to Laos maybe.
Either a big deer or some elk print right there.
Probably elk. think that it's a femur. This is a, yeah, that's a tabulum here, and it's a trochlear joint there. So it would go like this. I don't know, maybe bear?
Are there any teeth marks on it?
Let me see. Not really. Pretty hungry here, so we're setting up some, let's cook some beef stew there.
Meat's a little chewy, but
The only way to make this better is to cook it for another hour.
it'll be dead in another hour. You can find my carcass right there.
So we're hiking back, and Alan noticed that there's this tree with like pieces of wood. It's a little blurry, but pieces of wood, and it looks like a cable.
Blue color, dude.
That's cool. That's neat.
Big old beefy one. And
Well, as the saying goes, here goes nothing. That was cold. Woo!
As we sat and waited for more people to arrive at camp, we enjoyed a view nicer than anything most people can imagine. And when they arrived at camp, they told a story of an encounter they may have had up the road while changing a flat tire.
The places where it chooses.
But on the turn there, Mom was playing around with the brights to mess with them, and then she turned on the bright, and then I saw it looked like Tate's face pop up at the end of the road, and I was like, why is he doing on the side of the hill? That's weird. And I told her that I was like, is he Tate over there? She turned off the brights again, and I was like, no, turn them back on. You can see him. And then she turned it back on. He wasn't there. And then we got around the corner and we realized he was in the middle of the cellar area. And I was like, I wonder what I saw. And then our friend Damon said that he smelled something where I saw it. And then Tate said he felt creepy. So I don't know.
It reminds me of that one encounter of the guy taking a dump. And like literally he had like a Sasquatch encounter like right there in front of him.
and he's like, they're all vulnerable and everything. I'm like, I hope this doesn't happen to me, but at the same time, I could care less because how bad I was feeling. I was like, whatever.
Time is 10:50 at night, and the plan right now is to head out to Onion Lake, do some calls, have my IR night vision camera, and we'll see what comes of it. This is an area that people have had a lot of encounters. Lots of sounds heard, footprints. Hopefully we get something. This is my headlamp, by the way, not a Sasquatch looking into the camera.
This is all-wheel drive, and I think it was four-wheel drive as well. Every time I come here, there's so much debris covering that lake.
You're good to go. Let's try to knock. I have a friend who lives in Oakhurst, and he heard something really strange up here. Up here in the spot? Yeah, he's camped here. And he got up, and he saw a huge bear taking a dump. He was rubbing one out.
It's like nobody's in the back seat.
You know what, man? I feel like this is a stolen car. Because the windows, look how the window's broken in. And then that door's strapped together. Turn. Warp.
Possible.
Yeah.
Don't you always get like freaked out when you see something huge in the road like that? Like, oh, it's
The
just
first time we came by it, I said that rock looked. What sucks is like if you were to stand over there and use a thermal imager,
it would look
you'd
like,
see that, and it's so easy to mistake anything big like that for a. You think it would be a Sasquatch, you know?
No kidding.
Those thermals can mess with you so bad if you don't know what you're looking at. It takes a real trained eye. I can hear a dog barking back at camp, so I know that any sounds from camp still resonate pretty loud up here.
I walked a few miles up and down the road, looking for any footprints. It was then that I found what looked like a Bigfoot footprint. If this was an impression, it would have to be by something very large and heavy. Upon examination, I noticed the small pebbles pushed deep into the ground below it. I posted the picture, asking people for any explanation as to what this could be. Geologist and Bluff Creek project member Jamie Wayne chimed in with an explanation. Most likely an old puddle from a snowmelt feature, likely from old ice buildup. As I tromp around for miles in areas of vast wilderness, I look for anomalies. And although it was a great adventure, we didn't see any Sasquatch on this trip. But that doesn't mean that they didn't see us. I'm Jonathan, and thanks for watching Western Bigfoot Exploration.